KTM has just unveiled the all-new 990 Duke, an all-new middleweight that's designed to take the Triumph Street Triple, turn it upside down and steal its dinner money. KTM is calling this new bike the Sniper, which sounds a bit cringe and like one of those American veterans who's got a Punisher sticker on the back of their pickup truck and goes around saying that guns keep kids in school safe. But anyway, now there are no Americans watching, let's find out what's all new about this rather bold-looking new KTM. First up, this bike does replace the 890 Duke. This new 990 Duke is going to be made in Mattighofen in Austria. It's not going to be a Chinese-made bike, and it's got what KTM are calling an all-new engine that they hope takes it closer to the Super Duke and further away from the 790 below it. And it's a parallel twin again, but now it's got 123 horsepower. And if you're keeping up, that is about 2 or 3 horsepower more than the old 890 Duke R, and about 8 horsepower more than the normal 890 Duke. This new engine is up on torque as well. It's got 103 Newton meters. That's 11 Newton meters up on the old 890 Duke. And for a parallel twin, that old engine felt really rambunctious anyway. So I think this new one is going to push the limits of what a parallel twin can feel like. And I think it's going to feel pretty angry. Now, on the slightly boring engine side of things, it's got a 14.8 litre fuel tank, and KTM are claiming you'll be able to do over 180 miles on a tank and getting about 60 mpg. And in my experience, these KTM parallel twins are super efficient, so 60 mpg should be easy as pie. Petrol-y pie. Now, as usual, KTM are putting a lot of emphasis onto the chassis of this bike, and it's got an all-new frame. It's still a steel trellis, but KTM says they've tuned it and tweaked it to have slightly more side stiffness and a bit less stiffness in the swing arm. And the swing arm is about 1.5 kilos lighter than before. So they've clearly taken it out on a racetrack and tuned it to get the most feel out of it. Now, you've still got kind of no-name 4-piston radial brake calipers up front, but KTM saying they've reduced the weight of the brake disc carrier by 500 grams on each side of the front wheel. So they've essentially lopped off a whole bag of sugar of unsprung mass on the front wheel. So I imagine that is going to cause a massive leap on in terms of agility of this bike, and they are pitching this up against the 890 Duke R in terms of how agile it is, but they're saying it is more stable. And the 890 Duke R is one of the best handling bikes in the world on the road. So if this is anything like that, yeah, it's going to be good. And I should point out, they've not mentioned an R version of this bike yet, but I reckon it's probably only a year or so away. It's quite a light bike as well. It's 190 kilograms fully fueled, or 179 kilos ready to ride, which I think has a splash of fuel in the tank, but with all the fluids and the battery and everything else. So it's a real lightweight, but that's all backed up by proper electronics. It's got an IMU, so all the traction control and everything else is lean sensitive. This bike gets KTM's 5-inch color TFT screen with the nice new modern graphics, which hopefully you can see here. As standard, you get 3 riding modes. You get your usual rain, your street, and your sport. But obviously being a KTM, you can pay to unlock 2 more, performance and track. And in those, you can obviously customize things, and you can turn anti-wheelie off separately from traction control. At least that's what I understand, which is very exciting. And obviously in normal road mode, it allows a little bit of front wheel lift, and in sport mode, it says maximum front wheel lift, but I imagine it won't let you loop it. So this is designed to be an exciting bike that's got your back, electronically speaking. Like Palpatine. I've spotted some other new things in the photos as well. There's new switchgear that we've not seen on any other KTM model. I guess this is going to replace the slightly outdated switchgear on their lesser models. It looks like it's got a custom switch on there. It's got a cruise control switch as well, but that is an option. So I think you'll get the switch as standard, but if you want it to do anything, you've got to reach into your pockets. And obviously in the modern world of KTMs, there's a demo mode on these bikes as standard, so you get all the electronic extras for about 1,500, is it kilometers or miles? I can't remember, but then they switch off and you have to pay to unlock them. It's not been controversial at all, unlike the opening of this video. Some other bits and pieces on this bike that I've spotted. You've got a USB-C connection so you can charge stuff on the go. The adjusters on the WP Apex forks have now got 5 clicks and more clearly defined. So I guess they want people to fiddle with the suspension. You're not having to count like, oh, 30 that way, 5 that way, then you've undone the bank vault. You've just got 5 clicks, which should make it easier to remember your favourite settings. It's got an 825mm seat height, which seems pretty reasonable, quite approachable. I'm sure there will be accessory seats and spring kits as well to lower it if you want. KTM's always pretty good at providing a smorgasbord of accessories, and you can also adjust the handlebars into 4 positions as well to help get yourself comfortable. So yeah, the changes in this bike, it's not just a refresh of the 890, this is an all-new bike, and we should talk about the looks, because this bike has a brand new face for KTM. We've seen the spy shots coming, and I think this is what the new 1290 Super Duke will look like probably next year. It has got this face, which looks quite imposing and quite impressive. You've got daytime running lights around the outside of that headlight, and you've got an LED main and low beam in the middle with a little KTM logo. Do you like it? Tell us down in the comments, is it a face only your mother could love, or is your mother actually someone that works at KTM and therefore she looks like that and you love her for it? Now, the last 2 bits of information I managed to glean from the press release are it comes in 2 colours. It comes in orange or black, and KTM is specifically saying the black harks back to Dukes of past. It's metallic black, but I think it's going to look a little bit like the old 990 Super Duke black. Never rode one of those bikes, but I kind of want to, because that was when KTM really began its reputation as being this hairy-chested, angry maker of bikes. But anyway, this 990 Duke, the new one, it's not actually a 990, is it? It's a 947, but whatever. Now, final bit to point out, it comes on Bridgestone S22 tyres, which are really nice and sticky. I've got them on my MT10 and they are brilliant. They take a little bit of time to warm up, but once they do, they are absolutely brilliant. So it's nice to know that KTM aren't cheaping out on rubber, and this thing should handle properly good when we get to ride it next year in 2024. There is no word on price yet. There is actually, it's £13,000. I just didn't read to the very bottom of the press release because I'm an idiot, sorry. 13 grand. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll see this bike very, very soon. Thank you for watching. If this has been helpful, please hit the big cartoon thumbs up to like it. Do subscribe, so I've got lots more bike news and reviews and vlogs coming very soon. And go down to the comments and leave me the Austrian word for your mother's face. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.